Good morning, everyone. In this particular video, we will talk about the integers, and this integer chapter is given in class 6, 7th, and even in class 8. So this particular video will be beneficial for class 6, 7, and 8 students. So to understand the integers, we will first understand the negative numbers. Okay, so we will first define the negative numbers. What are negative numbers? Then we will proceed ahead. Okay, so in this particular video I want to familiarize with negative numbers and also learn a bit know of how do we add and subtract them, correct? So to understand the integers, first of all we have to understand the negative numbers. So what are the negative numbers? First of all we will look at that. Okay, then we will proceed on to add and subtract of integers. How can we do that? But before we will see what are negative numbers, and then we will talk about that. So what are negative numbers? So when it comes to counting, we count everything. So for the counting purpose we use natural numbers, correct? We use positive numbers. Okay, so for the counting purpose we use positive numbers. But the question is, we know about the positive numbers, but what does a negative number mean? So so what does a negative number mean? So for that I will give you some examples through which you can understand the meaning of what is a negative number, correct? So um, and when you think about this negative number, I think you have encountered negative numbers in your everyday life. Okay, this is not a very new thing. You have encountered it very often in your life. So for that I should give you some examples so that you can understand it. So basically the general idea is negative number is something which is less than zero. Okay, negative number is something which is less than zero. Okay, we know about the positive numbers, we know about the zero means nothing. So what do we mean by negative number is that number which is less than zero. Okay, which is less than zero. So if that sounds strange and abstract to you, so for that I will give you examples. Uh, let's take one example take the temperature example. Okay, if you have to measure the temperature, let's say in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Let's say Celsius, correct? So let's assume that today is very cold day, chilly day, and let's say today temperature is 3 degree Celsius, correct? 3 degrees Celsius, correct? And what happens is that one person comes to you and said that tomorrow is going to be 4 degree colder than today. It's some like he can see the future in some way. So he comes to you and said, tomorrow the day will be 4 degree colder than today. So how will you represent it in the form of let's say in the uh, I take is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Okay, so as I know, today is 3 degrees Celsius, and tomorrow is going to be 4 degree colder than today. So if I have to say 1 degree colder, then I will go behind and say 2 degrees Celsius. If 1 degree more colder, 1 degree Celsius, 1 degree more colder, 0 degree Celsius. So if today is 3 degrees Celsius and tomorrow is 3 degree colder, the temperature would be 0. But question is, what if when tomorrow is 4 degree colder? So at that time you have to go even behind the zero. Okay, you have to go even behind the zero, and where you have to go? You have to come to at -1, correct? -1. So this -1 or -1 is what we say negative number, correct? So correct. So let us take next example. Okay, if you understand that, it's good, and otherwise I will take one more example. Let's say uh, I had I had I had I had 10 rupees. Let's say I had 10 rupees, 10 rupees in my bank account. Okay, let's say I had 10 rupees in my bank account, and what happens is that my bank is so flexible that he had given me some even a credit amount that I can spend the money beyond the 10 rupees in the market. He has said to me, okay, the bank had given me the opportunity to spend more than what I have. So I go to the market and spent let's say I spent 50 rupees. Okay, I spent 50 rupees. No, so what happens is that if I saw my bank account status, if I see my bank account status, so what would it show? I had 10 rupees, I had before 10 rupees, and now I had spent 50 rupees. So in a way 10 rupees has been gone from my bank, my real bank account, and those 40 rupees that I had extra spent, that would be given by the bank, that would be given by the bank. So that money, that means if extra 40 rupees has been given by the bank, so that money, that 40 rupees will be that 40 rupees will be represented in my bank account in form of like this, like -14, because I owe to bank 40 rupees. Okay, like that. So Okay, so when you think about the negative numbers and integers, so one thing is you should visualize this thing. Visualize in the number line system, like we have 0, and to the right we have positive numbers. Okay, and in the left direction, as we saw in a couple of examples, like minus 10 or minus 20. Okay, in the left we should write negative. Mm. Okay, next we will see some problems on integer negative numbers, adding and subtracting negative numbers. Okay, so let's see some examples. So the first, so first we will take one example. Let's say I have 2. I have to subtract 2. uh, I have to subtract 3 from 2. Okay, so the example is 2 minus 3. Okay, 2 minus 3. So we have to subtract 3 from 2. So we have to subtract a larger number from a smaller number. So definitely we will end up having negative number. So the answer will be negative 1. So let us see in the number line. Okay, this is our 0. This is our positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, and in the left we will have negative 1 and negative 2. Okay, so um, the question is 2 minus 3. Okay, 2 minus 3. So the first term from where we start. Okay, the first term where we start. So from here we will start our journey. So we have to go 3 behind. Negative means to the left of the number line. What does negative mean in the number line? Negative means to the left of the number line. So from starting from the 2, we have to go left to the number line, three spaces, like first, second, and third. We will come at minus 1. So our answer will be minus 1. Correct?
2, 3.
Okay, and so let's take one more example. It's a little bit difficult than this simple one. Let's say we have minus 2. We have minus 2 minus 3. Okay, we have to subtract minus 3 from minus 2. So this we also see with the help of a number line. So let's say we have 0 over here, positive 1, positive 2, positive 3. It doesn't matter here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4, 5, all are in negative because they are in the left of the 0. Correct. So look at here. I have to start from the minus 2. So I have to start from here. So I have to start from the minus 2 and go left of the number line 3 spaces. So I have to go to the left 3 spaces left. 1, 2, and 3. I will reset the minus 5. So our result would be minus 5. So one thing I would remember, you should remember that when we subtract two negative numbers or add two negative numbers, we at the end we add the numbers, means 2 plus 3 we get 5, and the sign would be negative.